Success is a poor teacher. Success is a poor teacher, Rich Dad always said. We learn the most about ourselves when we fail. So don't be afraid of failing. Failing is a part of process of success. You cannot have success without failure. So unsuccessful people are people who never fail. Maybe it was self-fulfilling prophecy, but in 1984, the company that went down was company number 3. I had made millions and had lost millions and was starting all over again when I met Kim. The reason I know she did not marry me for my money is because I did not have any money. When I told her what I was going to do, build company number 4, she did not back away. I will build it with you, was her reply, and she was true to her word. Along with another partner, we built a business system with 11 offices worldwide that generated income regardless of whether we worked. Building it from nothing to 11 officers took 5 years of blood, sweat, and tears. But it worked. Both dads were happy for me and sincerely congratulated me. They had both lost money in my previous experiments. Mike, my rich dad's son, has often said to me, I will never know if I can do what you did or my dad did. The system was handed to me, and all I had to do was learn how to run it. I am certain he could have developed his own successful system because he learned well from his dad. Yet I understand what he meant. The hard thing about building a company from scratch is that you have two big variables, the system and people building the system. If both the dads and the systems are leaky, the chances for failure are great. Sometimes it is hard to know whether the problem is a person or system that is failing. Before franchises, when my rich dad began teaching me about becoming a businessman, there was only one kind of business, that was big business, a major corporation that usually dominated the town. In our town in Hawaii, it was sugar plantation that controlled virtually everything, including the other big businesses. So there were big businesses and mom and pops S type businesses with little in between. To be able to work at top levels of those big sugar companies was not likely goal for people like Rich Dad and me. Minorities such as Japanese, Chinese, and Hawaiians worked in this field but were never allowed in the boardroom. So Rich Dad learned everything he knew simply by trial and error. As I started high school, we began to hear about thing called franchises, but no one had come to our little town. We had not heard about McDonald's or uh, fried chicken or Taco Bell. They were not part of our vocabulary. While I was studying with Rich Dad, when we did hear rumors about them, we heard they were illegal, fraudulent scams and dangerous. Naturally, upon hearing those rumors, Rich Dad flew to California to begin checking franchises out rather than believing the gossip. When he returned, all he said was, franchises are the waves of the future, and he bought the rights to two of them. His wealth skyrocketed as the idea of franchises caught on, and he began selling his rights to other people so they could have a chance at building their own businesses. When I asked him if I should buy one from him, he simply said no. You come from far in learning how to build your own business system. Don't stop now. Franchises are for people who do not want to build or do not know how to build their own systems. Besides, you don't have the 250,000 dollar it takes to buy a franchise from me. It is hard to imagine today a city without McDonald's or Burger King or Pizza Hut on every corner. Yet there was a time too long, not too long ago, when they did not exist, and I am old enough to remember those days. How to learn to become a bee. The way I learned to become a business person was by being an apprentice to my rich dad. His son and I both were E's, that is employees, learning to be bees, and that is the way many people learn. It is called on the job training. This is the way many closely held family empires are passed on from generation to the next. The problem is too many people are privileged or lucky enough to learn the behind the scene aspects of becoming a business person. Most corporate management training programs are just that company only trains you to be a manager. Few teach what it takes to be, that is business person. Often people get stuck in self-employed quadrant in their journey to become a business owner quadrant. This happens primarily because they do not develop a strong enough system, and so they end up becoming an integral part of system. Successful business owners develop a system that will run without their involvement. There are three ways you can make business side quickly. Find a mentor. My rich dad was my mentor. A mentor is someone who has already done what you want to do and is successful at doing it. Do not find an advisor. An advisor is someone who tells you how to do it but has not personally done it. Most advisors are in a self-employed quadrant. The world is filled with self-employeds trying to tell you how to be business owner or investor. My rich dad was mentor, not an advisor. One of the biggest tips my rich dad gave me was be careful of the advice you take. While you must keep your mind open, always be first aware of which quadrant the advice is coming from. My rich dad taught me about systems and how to be leader of people, not manager of people. Managers often see their subordinates as inferiors. Leaders must direct people who are often smarter. If you would like to read an excellent book about basics of starting your own business system, check out E Myth by Michael Gerber. For example, who want to learn to develop their own systems, this book is priceless. A traditional way of learning about systems is to get MBA from prestigious school and get fast track job up to corporate ladder. An MBA is important because you learn the basics of accounting and how financial numbers relate to systems of business. Yet, just because you have MBA does not automatically mean you are competent to run all systems that ultimately make up a complete business system. To learn about systems necessary in big company, you will need to spend 10 to 15 years there, learning all the different aspects of business. You should then be prepared to leave and start your own company. Working for a successful major corporation is like being paid by your mentor. Even with a mentor and or years of experience, the first method is labor intensive. To create your own system requires a lot of trial and error, upfront legal costs and paperwork. All of this occurs at same time you are trying to develop your people. Franchises. Another way to learn about system is to buy a franchisee. When you buy a franchisee, you are buying a tried and proven operating systems. There are many excellent franchises. By buying the franchisee system instead of trying to create your own, you can focus on developing your people.